I'm here with Frank at the Bluebell, and also with a group of guys that are part of Bolsover?
Fourth Bolsover Scout Group.
So what is actually happening within the Scout group at the moment? What's taking place?
Well, we've got three sections. We've got Beavers, we've got Cubs and we've got Scouts. Fully subscribed in all three sections with a waiting list. We're looking at the minute to recruit some new leaders. So we're keen and interested in talking to anybody who has got any previous scouting experience, who would be interested in doing the role as a leader, or even anybody who just wants to come and help out. And that could be helping out on a camp, it could be helping out on an evening, it could be helping us going shopping to do things, get things for the kids, helping organise things like we've got a Remembrance Sunday parade coming up. We want to do a St George's Day parade in Bolsover as well this next year, if we can do that. So there's lots of opportunities where people can help us, and that's what we're keen to hear from, is people who could help us and support the Scout group.
Fantastic. And you were saying about, obviously Frank's putting on an event and it's going in aid of the Scout group. What are you hoping to also build?
Longer term, we've got quite a big ambition that we want to build our own Scout up within Bolsover. Years and years ago, Bolsover did have its own Scout group, and that eventually got demolished. It's around the back of the court somewhere, I believe.
Okay.
And we'd like to establish a base within Bolsover to kind of get a permanent foothold for scouting in Bolsover and support the local young people within Bolsover.
Fantastic. Now, I'm really, really sorry, I'm not familiar with Scouts. What is a Scout hut? What is one of those? I mean, I've got this image in my head going, it's like a mud hut or something like that.
No. We're hoping for something a bit better than that. Well, quite a lot better than that. So what we're looking for is we're hoping to build a building that we can use for scouting activities. So that's at the minute we use the parish rooms, which is fine, but it's not a home. It's somewhere we rent. We can't leave things up, we can't leave things out, we can't put posters on the walls and things. So we kind of want somewhere a bit like that, that's a home where we can have a few meeting rooms, something that we can then let out for other events within the community.
Fantastic. Now, do you have a piece of land spare up your sleeve?
We're negotiating at the moment for a piece of land. I can't say an awful lot more than that at the minute, but we are in a negotiation. So this is a real possibility for us, and it's a real great opportunity that we've got at this point in time, and it's one that we want to grab hold of and make work for us.
Fantastic. George, do you know something? We really need the listeners to get part of this.
So what do Scouts provide for people? What do they do? Is it all tying knots?
Not just tying knots. I mean, obviously a lot of it is about developing the kids. It's about giving them some opportunities that they might not otherwise have. They generally work towards a series of badges, so it's a certain activity that they do and they learn a bit out of doing it. They're assessed against certain criteria, and so they learn a bit about, maybe it might be a cooking badge, or it might be some other activity that they do. So there's various activities, and it's about developing the kids, giving them a bit of an opportunity to do things they wouldn't normally do. We take them out on camps, so obviously a big part of scouting has always been the camps. We try to make sure that we get all the kids out on at least one camp a year. We've recently had things like the big international peak scout camp at Chatsworth. We were there with Fourth Bolsover Scouts, so that gives an opportunity to meet with scouts and guides from all the countries.
And who's it for? How young, how old?
No.
Is that complicated?
From the age of 6 to 14.
6 to 14.
But then they can also go on and do explorers as well.
I mean, what we don't have at the minute in Bolsover is an explorers group, because I think start Beavers at 6, they work through Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, leave Scouts at 14. There is opportunity for explorers. A lot of our Scouts go on to explorers, but they have to go to places like Whitwell or Ingersoll, because we don't have, again, enough leaders to be able to do an explorers group. So
it's also important to mention it's not just for boys either, it's for boys and girls. So we've got quite a lot of girls in our group, which is great. Historically, Cubs and Scouts was just boys, but a few years ago it was opened up to be boys and girls, and it's great to see a lot of girls there as well.
Fantastic.
That was the question that was in my brain.
Brilliant.
Reach my. Sorry, is there a mind reading badge?
Now, do they get badges? I mean, when my gran was alive, they like mowed her lawn and things like that. Is it like helping people that?
They can get things for helping
community
and we do try to encourage that kind of thing. We'll go and do things like bagpacking sometimes in supermarkets, which is kind of helping people, but it also helps us raise funds. So that's a win-win.
Is there still a Bob a Job week?
We don't do Bob a Job week, but it is that kind of thing.
Sorry, Bob a Job by the very name gives away a certain age. Right, so how do people find out more about local scouts? Where do they go? What do they do?
Who do they call?
Is it Ghostbusters badge?
Well, we've got a website, fourthbolsoverscouts.co.uk.
Sorry, do that again. Too quick.
Fourthbolsoverscouts.co.uk. That's the website for the Scout group.
Yeah.
We've got an email address.
He's got his techie badge.
That's EXEC at fourthbolsoverscouts.co.uk.
Hold on, I need that again. I'm sorry.
We do all of them twice.
Exec.
EXEC
at Fourth Bolsover.
Sorry, is it a 4?
Is it number 4?
Number 4.
Yeah.
4TH.
Yeah.
Bolsover. Scouts.co.uk.
Right.
I don't know about you, Frank, but I'm in a flummox.
She's always in a flummox, don't worry about it.
That's what you get when you put us on the spot.
So it is number 4, it's not the...
4TH Bolsoverscouts.co.uk.
That's it.
We can do that.
We had it earlier.
Lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll
Thank you.
tell the world all about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.